Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for gathering today to explore a topic that holds the keys to living a life of purpose, peace, and power. The quality of our lives is not determined by what we own or where we live, but by the mastery we have over 4 critical areas: our mouth, our mind, our money, and our money. Let us dive deep into each one. Your words have creative power. They shape your reality. This concept is often overlooked in the noise of our daily lives, yet it holds a profound truth that many fail to fully grasp. The words you speak are not just sounds or casual expressions. They are potent tools that carry the potential to build or destroy, to heal or harm, to open doors or shut them firmly. How often do we pause to consider that the simple act of speaking has a direct impact on the course of our lives? The way you speak reflects the condition of your heart. What you say is a mirror of what's going on inside you. When you listen to someone speak, you learn about their values, their beliefs, and even their fears. But most importantly, the words that come out of your own mouth now give you clues about your own inner state. When words of negativity, anger, or fear slip from your lips, they reveal more than just your current emotional state. They also reflect the thought patterns that are shaping your view of the world and your place in it. And what you consistently speak will eventually show up in your actions, your decisions, and ultimately your future. Consider this: when you speak words of doubt, you begin to believe them, and soon your actions follow that belief. If you constantly say, "I can't," "it's impossible," or "I'll never make it," you are programming your mind to see the obstacles as insurmountable. In time, this negativity seeps into your attitude and approach to life. You stop taking risks, start pursuing your goals with passion, and start living within the confines of what your words have built, a prison of self-imposed limitations. It's like planting a seed of failure and nurturing it with every word you speak until it grows into a full-fledged reality. On the other hand, when you speak with intentionality and purpose, you are actively shaping your future for the better. Words have the power to create new possibilities. When you declare things like "I can," "it's possible," or "I will succeed," you start to shift your mindset. You begin to see opportunities instead of obstacles. It's not about being blindly optimistic. It's about recognizing the power of positive speech to influence your thoughts, your mood, and your behavior. Words like these create a mental environment that fosters growth, action, and resilience. They give you the courage to try again, even when the odds are against you. This isn't just about saying nice things to yourself. It's about learning the art of controlling your speech in all aspects of life. One of the greatest challenges we face is learning to speak carefully and thoughtfully in moments of anger, frustration, or fear. It's easy to let words fly when emotions are high, but those words can often do the most damage. They can harm relationships, destroy trust, and create deep wounds that take years to heal. How many times have you said something in the heat of the moment only to regret it later? And how often have those words caused irreversible harm? Learning to control your mouth in these moments is one of the most powerful skills you can develop. It requires discipline, mindfulness, and self-awareness. When you master your words, especially in difficult situations, you maintain control over your destiny. You prevent the chaos of emotions from dictating your actions. You give yourself space to think, to assess, and to respond in ways that are constructive rather than destructive. The control of speech also extends beyond just emotional situations. It applies to how we speak in our everyday interactions. The words you use in your casual conversations, in your work life, and even in your private moments of self-talk all contribute to the reality you are creating. Positive words build bridges, open doors, and create connections with people. Words of encouragement inspire others and elevate your own sense of purpose and worth. Conversely, careless words can close doors, ruin opportunities, and sabotage progress. We must also understand that words are not just tools for communication, they are declarations of intention. When you say something out loud, you are setting an intention into motion. Whether you're aware of it or not, your words are setting the stage for what's to come. If you continually speak about your fears, your failures, or your lack, you are unintentionally inviting more of that into your life. But if you speak about your goals, your dreams, and your potential, you begin to manifest those realities. Your words set the tone for the energy you bring into every situation. This is why we must be intentional with how we use our speech. Learning to control your mouth is learning to control your future. It requires that you speak not just what you feel in the moment, but what you want to see happen in your life. It means being disciplined enough to hold back words that could tear down and choosing instead to speak words that build up. It means using your speech to reflect the kind of person you aspire to be, rather than reacting out of impulse or negativity. The challenge lies in recognizing that the power to direct your destiny lies within you, and more specifically, within your mouth. The words you choose today will determine the opportunities, relationships, and outcomes you experience tomorrow. Control your words, and you control the trajectory of your life. Every time you speak, you are laying the foundation for what's to come. Your mind is the battlefield where success or failure is determined long before the outcomes manifest in your life. It is in the mind that battles are won or lost, goals are achieved or abandoned, and paths are either pursued or forsaken. Every action you take, every decision you make begins as a thought. This is why the quality of your thoughts is paramount. They serve as the architects of your destiny. To win in life, you must first win in your mind, because that is where the real struggle takes place. A disciplined mind is the foundation of a disciplined life. Without mental discipline, even the most well-intentioned plans fall apart. People often underestimate how powerful the mind is in shaping their reality. They focus on external factors, time management, financial discipline, or physical health, but neglect the source from which all action flows, the mind. The truth is, all external victories are first internal victories. You must master your mind before you can master anything else in your life. Mental discipline starts with understanding that your thoughts are not random or uncontrollable. They are a product of what you feed your mind. If you constantly consume negativity, fear, and doubt, whether from the media, conversations, or even your own self-talk, your thoughts will naturally gravitate toward pessimism, insecurity, and inaction. It's like planting a seed in poor soil and expecting a healthy tree to grow. Just as a garden needs careful cultivation to thrive, so too does your mind. You must be intentional about what you allow into your mental space. The thoughts you nurture will directly affect the actions you take. Negative, fearful, or self-defeating thoughts lead to hesitation, procrastination, and avoidance of the very things that could bring growth and success. If you believe that you are not capable, or that success is beyond your reach, your actions will reflect that belief. You will stop trying, stop pushing yourself, and ultimately stop progressing. This is how the battle is lost, by letting undisciplined, destructive thoughts run rampant in your mind. Conversely, when you feed your mind with positive, empowering, and purposeful thoughts, the results are vastly different. You start to believe that you are capable, that challenges are opportunities, and that success is possible. This mindset fuels actions of confidence, perseverance, and resilience. The disciplined mind does not allow temporary setbacks or obstacles to derail its purpose. It stays focused on the goal, refusing to be swayed by distractions or discouragements. In this way, the disciplined mind creates the conditions for victory, both internally and externally. But mental discipline is not something that happens overnight. It is a process that requires consistency and effort. Just like physical training, the mind must be exercised and strengthened regularly. This begins with awareness. You must first become aware of the kinds of thoughts that dominate your mind. Are they constructive or destructive? Are they empowering or limiting? Awareness allows you to identify the patterns that may be holding you back. Once you recognize these patterns, you can begin the work of replacing them with thoughts that serve your growth and success. One powerful way to discipline the mind is through the practice of focus. In today's world, distractions are everywhere, pulling your attention in 1,000 different directions. It's easy to become mentally scattered, chasing after one thing and then another, without ever fully committing to any one goal. But focus is the key to mental discipline. When you train your mind to concentrate on what truly matters, you eliminate the noise and distractions that can lead to confusion and doubt. Focus allows you to direct all your mental energy toward the achievement of your goals. Mental discipline also involves controlling your emotional responses. Emotions are powerful and can often cloud your judgment, leading to impulsive actions that sabotage your long-term goals. A disciplined mind does not react to every emotional impulse. Instead, it acknowledges the emotion, but does not allow it to dictate the course of action. This requires a level of self-control that can only be developed through practice and mindfulness. The ability to pause, reflect, and then respond thoughtfully, rather than react impulsively, is a hallmark of mental discipline. In addition to focus and emotional control, feeding your mind with intentional, positive inputs is essential to maintaining mental discipline. Surround yourself with information, people, and environments that inspire growth, learning, and motivation. Read books that challenge your thinking and push you toward greater understanding. Engage in conversations that uplift and encourage you to think bigger. The mind, like a sponge, absorbs what it is exposed to, and what you expose it to will determine the quality of your thoughts. The disciplined mind is also a mind that knows how to rest. Mental discipline is not about constant activity or relentless thinking. In fact, part of mental mastery is knowing when to step back and allow your mind to rest, recover, and renew itself. Without this balance, burnout becomes inevitable, and when your mind is fatigued, it becomes much harder to maintain discipline. Make time for stillness, reflection, and mental recovery. This allows your thoughts to settle, your creativity to flourish, and your mental energy to be replenished. Victory in life is determined long before you ever see the results. It is determined in the quiet moments of discipline when no one is watching. It is determined by what you choose to think about, what you choose to focus on, and how you choose to respond to the challenges you face. A disciplined mind is not swayed by circumstances, emotions, or distractions. It remains steady, focused, and purposeful, guiding your actions and decisions towards success. Mental discipline is not about perfection, it's about persistence. It's about training your mind to think in ways that align with your goals, values, and purpose. And when you win the battle in your mind, you are setting the stage for victory in every area of your life. Your mood is the gatekeeper of your success. It has the power to shape your perception, influence your decisions, and ultimately determine the trajectory of your life. Emotions are powerful and they can often feel overwhelming, but they are terrible masters. If you allow your mood to control your actions, you surrender your ability to steer your life in the direction of your goals. This is why mastering your emotions, rather than being mastered by them, is a key to achieving lasting success. Emotions, in their raw form, are neither good nor bad. They are simply signals that provide insight into our inner world. They alert us to joy, fear, frustration, excitement, and everything in between. However, when left unchecked, emotions can distort reality and lead us down a path of impulsive reactions that we later regret. This is why regulating your mood is so critical. The ability to manage your emotional responses, no matter what external circumstances arise, gives you control over your life and decisions. Think about the many times people make decisions based purely on emotion. Anger flares up in a heated argument, and suddenly words are said that cannot be taken back. damaging relationships in the process. Fear takes hold before a major decision, causing hesitation that results in a missed opportunity. Even excitement, when unchecked, can lead to impulsive decisions that aren't well thought out, ultimately causing regret. All of these scenarios share a common theme: emotions took over and rational thought was pushed aside. The outcome was dictated by mood rather than logic or wisdom. This doesn't mean that emotions should be suppressed or ignored. Emotions have their place. They can be excellent motivators and serve as indicators of our desires and needs. But true strength lies in the ability to feel emotions without allowing them to dictate your actions. When you can maintain your calm and composure, even in the midst of emotional turbulence, you gain the upper hand in any situation. This is what separates those who are constantly reacting to life from those who are proactively shaping it. The ability to stay calm in chaos is not about denying what you're feeling. It's about recognizing your emotions, understanding them, and then choosing how to respond in a way that aligns with your long-term goals and values. Life is unpredictable, and storms will come whether in your personal life, your career, or your relationships. But in the middle of those storms, your mood can either be the anchor that keeps you steady or the gust of wind that sends you off course. Imagine navigating a ship through a storm. If the captain loses control and begins to panic, the ship is likely to drift aimlessly, making the situation worse. But a calm, focused captain who maintains control of the wheel, despite the raging waves, will have a much better chance of steering the ship to safety. In the same way, your mood acts as the captain of your life ship. If you allow fear, anger, or frustration to take over, you lose your ability to navigate effectively. But if you stay calm and in control, you can weather the storm and emerge stronger on the other side. Mood regulation is especially important when it comes to decision making. Emotions tend to cloud judgment, making it difficult to see situations objectively. When you're in a negative mood, everything seems more daunting than it actually is. A small challenge can feel like an insurmountable obstacle, leading to unnecessary stress and anxiety. Conversely, when you're in a good mood, you might overlook potential risks, leading to overconfidence and poor judgment. Both extremes can lead to decisions that don't serve your best interests. To regulate your mood effectively, you need to develop emotional intelligence, which involves recognizing and understanding your emotions, as well as the emotions of others. Emotional intelligence enables you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. It allows you to take a step back, assess the situation, and choose the best course of action based on logic and reason, not just feelings. One of the most powerful ways to regulate your mood is through mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment, observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment. When you're mindful, you create space between yourself and your emotions, giving you the opportunity to decide how you want to respond rather than simply reacting. This practice helps you stay grounded, even in the face of adversity, and allows you to make decisions that are aligned with your goals, rather than being driven by temporary emotions. Another key to mood regulation is self-care. It's much harder to manage your emotions when you're physically or mentally exhausted. When you neglect your well-being, stress, irritability, and frustration are more likely to take over. But when you prioritize your health by getting enough rest, eating well, exercising, and taking time for relaxation, you're better equipped to handle emotional challenges. A well-rested mind and body provide the foundation for emotional stability, allowing you to maintain your composure in difficult situations. Surrounding yourself with positive influences is also essential for mood regulation. The people you interact with, the environments you place yourself in, and the content you consume all impact your emotional state. If you're constantly around negativity, drama, or chaos, it will be harder to keep your mood in check. But when you're in environments that foster positivity, support, and calm, you're more likely to maintain a balanced emotional state. Lastly, understand that emotional regulation is a skill that takes time to develop. It requires practice, patience, and a willingness to learn from your emotional responses. There will be times when your mood gets the best of you. That's part of being human. The key is to reflect on those moments and identify how you can respond differently in the future. Over time, as you gain more experience and insight, you'll become better at managing your emotions and using them to your advantage rather than letting them control you. Mastering your mood gives you the ability to maintain control over your life, even when circumstances are beyond your control. When you can stay calm, composed, and focused, regardless of the external situation, you can make decisions that align with your long-term goals. You become more resilient, more adaptable, and ultimately more successful. By making mood regulation a priority, you are setting yourself up for lasting success, no matter what life throws your way. Money is a servant, not a master. This principle, though simple, holds profound wisdom that can radically transform how you approach life and finances. Wealth, in its essence, is a tool and instrument that can be wielded to achieve greater purposes. However, if you lose sight of this truth and allow money to take the throne in your life, it can easily become a tyrant. The key to lasting financial success and personal fulfillment lies in maintaining control over your money, not allowing it to dictate your decisions or values. Too often, people mistake wealth as the ultimate goal, chasing after it with everything they have. But money, when viewed as the end rather than the means, becomes a master that demands constant attention and sacrifices. When you pursue wealth as the primary objective, it's easy to fall into the trap of endless accumulation, where enough is never enough. This mindset often leads to stress, burnout, and a sense of emptiness, as the pursuit of money alone fails to provide the deeper meaning and satisfaction that a purpose-driven life offers. The reality is, money in and of itself holds no inherent value. Its value comes from how it is used. It is merely a tool, one that should serve your goals, your vision, and your purpose. When used wisely, it has the power to open doors, create opportunities, and make a lasting impact in ways that transcend personal gain. But for that to happen, you must be in control of your finances, directing where your money goes and how it is used, rather than being controlled by it. Financial discipline is at the heart of this control. Without discipline, money becomes elusive, slipping through your fingers no matter how much you earn. It doesn't matter if you make a modest income or accumulate great wealth. If you don't manage it wisely, money will control you. It will dictate your decisions, your stress levels, and even your relationships. How often do we hear stories of people who, despite earning significant incomes, find themselves living paycheck to paycheck, burdened by debt, and constantly worrying about money? The problem is not the amount they earn, but the lack of financial discipline. When you develop financial discipline, you gain the freedom to use money as a servant, directing it toward what truly matters. This discipline begins with understanding that money is a resource to be managed, not simply spent or accumulated. It requires planning, budgeting, and the foresight to prioritize long-term goals over short-term desires. Learning to delay gratification, to save and invest rather than indulge in impulsive purchases, is a crucial step toward financial independence. This doesn't mean you should never enjoy your wealth, but it means you do so with intention, ensuring that your spending aligns with your values and long-term objectives. One of the greatest benefits of financial discipline is the peace of mind it brings. When you have a plan for your money, you reduce the stress and anxiety that often accompany financial uncertainty. Knowing that you have savings for emergencies, that your debts are under control, and that you're on track to meet your financial goals provides a sense of security that allows you to focus on other areas of your life. You're no longer constantly worrying about bills, debts, or the unpredictability of your financial situation. Instead, you have the confidence that comes from being in control of your finances. Financial discipline also empowers you to live a life of purpose. When you manage your money wisely, you're not just building wealth for its own sake, you're creating the financial freedom to pursue the things that truly matter to you. Whether it's supporting your family, investing in your education, starting a business, giving back to your community, or traveling the world, financial freedom opens up possibilities that money alone cannot buy. This is where the distinction between money as a servant and money as a master becomes critical. When you are in control of your finances, you can direct your wealth toward the fulfillment of your dreams and the betterment of others, rather than being enslaved by the need to constantly earn more just to keep up with expenses or debt. The freedom that comes from financial discipline also allows you to make decisions based on your values, rather than out of necessity. How often do people stay in jobs they dislike or make decisions they know are not aligned with their true purpose simply because they feel trapped by their financial situation? When you have control over your money, you are not bound by these limitations. You can make choices that are in line with your long-term vision rather than being dictated by short-term financial pressures. Another key aspect of controlling your money is understanding the importance of giving. Wealth, when hoarded or used solely for personal gain, loses its true potential. But when used to bless others, it multiplies in value. Giving, whether through charity, helping others in need, or investing in causes that matter to you, allows your wealth to have a positive impact beyond your own life. It creates a ripple effect that can transform communities, uplift individuals, and leave a lasting legacy. Financial discipline enables you to give generously without fear of lack or scarcity, because you've managed your resources in such a way that you can afford to do so. The ultimate goal of wealth should not be accumulation, but contribution. Money is meant to serve a greater purpose, one that aligns with your values and the difference you want to make in the world. When you shift your mindset from seeing money as something to be pursued to something that serves your higher goals, you unlock its true potential. Financial success is not measured by the amount of wealth you have, but by how effectively you use that wealth to enhance your life and the lives of others. In the end, financial discipline brings empowerment. It allows you to live on your own terms, free from the chains of debt, financial stress, or the pressure to conform to societal expectations about wealth. It gives you the ability to make decisions that are aligned with your purpose, to pursue opportunities that matter, and to leave a meaningful legacy. Money, when controlled, becomes a powerful servant that helps you fulfill your purpose and create lasting impact. In conclusion, learning to control your mouth, mind, mood, and money is the foundation of a life lived with purpose and impact. By mastering your words, you shape your reality by disciplining your mind. You create lasting success by regulating your mood. You navigate life's challenges with resilience, and by managing your money wisely, you gain the freedom to pursue your true calling. These principles empower you to take control of your life, rather than be controlled by external forces. Through self-discipline and intentional action, you can live a life of peace, fulfillment, and meaningful contribution.